Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining me for this Enlightenment series. This is a special Enlightenment series today because we're not even on our normal time. But I wanted to come and share this message with you because it's something that's on my heart and something that I know that um, I'm getting value from just by thinking about this topic. And I wanted to share it with all the parents. So if you're a parent and you're watching this broadcast today, thank you so much for joining me. And look, if I step on your toes a little bit or a lot, just know that I love you because I'm looking to get better as a parent. And so I want to impart some information, some wisdom. I'm going to definitely bring in some wisdom, not mine, but I'm going to bring in Solomon's wisdom that we can all use so that we can be better parents. So, all right. My name is Jay Moore. I'm your health accountant, where I'm helping you to account for your life. I'm talking about business, financial, and all areas of your life. It's important to know exactly where you're headed, goals, and just having a target, having something big that you can work towards. That's what the healthy accountant is all about. So if you haven't already liked or subscribed on our page or the channel, please like or subscribe. Let us know what you think. Leave comments and share it across your social networks so that the value that you've received, others can also get access to this information. We want to make an impact this year. We want to help a thousand people physically, but then we also want to, use our influence to be able to impact the lives through our videos of, I'm gonna just say it, 1 million people, meaning 1 million people to have at least watched our video. So if you can be a part of that, I welcome it. I thank you so much. All right, so guys, so here's what we're talking about today: how parents should lead their kids. All right, so this is a really tough topic today. Here's why. I made a lot of mistakes as a parent. I'm talking about bad from the very beginning. My son Jared, who edits my videos, is turning 16 in 2 months. And I'm gonna tell you, I made a lot of bad decisions from the very beginning. From the time he was born, I was making bad decisions. I wasn't doing things right. I was not living the best life from the time he was born. And how do you think those types of things can impact your children? Look, I figured out something about a year ago. I did something that didn't serve me. My son didn't see it, but he did the same exact thing. I was blown away. He never saw me do it, but he wound up doing the same thing that I had done. And I realized, I said, wow, they learn things without seeing you do it. I'm going to say that again. They learn things without seeing you do it because they're in your environment. You have an energy that's being sent out into the environment that you're living in. If your kids are there, then they're going to catch it. They're going to get it. They're going to learn everything that you're doing. I'm talking about they're going to learn everything that you're doing, even if they never saw you do it. They learn things that you don't even realize that they learned it. My son loves videos, right? And he saw me doing videos back in 2000, I think it was 15. I think it was 15 when I first started doing videos. And I could tell how interested he was in video. And here today, that's the thing that he loves. I wasn't even thinking that I was, doing anything that he was going to want to do. Now he's all into videos. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have gotten into videos, but he saw it done right here in his home. All right. So I'm going to take you to two texts. I had them underlined in my Bible because I was looking for something. I knew Proverbs would be a great place to find something about children and parents. And I had it underlined, and I had these two texts in chapter 29 of Proverbs. Out of the clear word, verse 14. I'm sorry, verse 15, and then verse 17. So here's what verse 15 says. It says, correction and discipline impart wisdom to a child, But a child left to himself will bring shame to his mother. What is Solomon talking about here? All right. This is a tough one for a parent because a lot of times we're saying, well, why won't the kids do this? And, why is it that it's so hard for you guys to, to want to read? It's so hard for you to do this and do that. Well, it's right here. It says a child left to himself will bring shame to his mother and father. Well, if I leave my son to himself with all the vices that can cause him to not want to do the things that we know is good for him, what do you think he's going to do? He's not going to have any willpower against it because he's not going to have any discipline. So I have to make sure I have to correct and discipline. I have to make sure that he's going to get the correction and understand the discipline so that he won't be left to his own devices. See, because this is how parents should lead their kids. We should be doing everything that we ask our kids to do. We should not be just telling them what to do. We shouldn't be telling them what to do. We should be doing what it is that we're asking them to do. We should have experience from failures so that we can say, hey, look, here's what messed me up when I was your age. Here's what happened to me. And this is, I was able to correct it by, and here's the thing. This is the way you should do it. Watch what I do. Watch me today. But right now, as a parent, we may be at home doing different things that the kids can see, and then they model the bad behavior, not the good. It's like arguing. If I'm arguing with my wife, and I see my two sons arguing, and maybe it's just kind of talking in a non-agreeable matter. We're always, if we're not agreeing, or if we're always in a state of contention, then what I notice is that my sons are in a state of contention with each other. Just that simple. Trying to figure out, why are you guys always fighting? They don't know. They're not saying, well, I see you guys do it all the time. Well, I realized the contention that we may have been having, not agreeing, and me personally, if I have a way of thinking and then, I'm sharing it with my wife and she doesn't think that way, and then me so stuck on how I want to think and she should think this way. No, that's bad. I can't do that. If she has a thought, okay. If it's not mine, then I can't contend her thoughts. I can only be the thought that I am. And then if she has a different thought, then I don't make a big deal out of it. But what happens is we start fighting. We start going back and forth. Then the kids see it. The kids learn how to argue right in our own home, then they're arguing with you. How many parents have this problem where the kids forget the natural order of the home? All of a sudden, they're talking to you like they're friends. My son's calling me bruh. I'm like, dude, I'm not your bruh. Call your friends bruh. I'm your dad. So there's a difference between a bruh and a dad. And it's like, you got to catch them, because the thing is, we have to set the tone. But a lot of times, look, I'm a parent. I've made tons of mistakes. But what I'm noticing today, here's what I'm noticing today. I'm noticing that the parents don't want to take responsibility. Are you a parent that don't want to take responsibility for who your son and your daughter are right now? Especially if they're over the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You must take responsibility. You must see yourself. Typically, yourself, who you were at a time, is inside of them. Even if you've changed. You was that way at one point. You were not agreeable. You were not obedient. That's right. Me and Jenny was talking last night, and I was just like, it's funny, right? Because if we don't obey God, right, which a lot of times we don't obey, God's like, hey, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to just keep doing what I want to do. Like, then you think about from a parent's perspective, you're like, the kids don't want to do what you say. You're not doing what God says. I'm telling you, That's how it works. You have to be the person that's leading the charge. So back in Proverbs 29, verse 17, it says, discipline your son and life will be peaceful. He will be a delight to be around. Discipline. What is discipline? I used to think when I was, when I was first starting out as a parent, discipline was, beating their behinds. That's not real discipline. Yeah, I mean, that could hurt, and that there may be a place for it. I think that there's a place for, some of that. But here's the thing, discipline is not just that. Discipline is basically showing the correct order, showing how the child should do something, showing them through your own discipline, through your own constraint. See, what happens is, we get it twisted with what discipline is when it comes to kids and when it comes to our family. Discipline is constraint. It's sometimes it's rigid. People that are really disciplined, they seem rigid. They seem like, man, they just kind of overbearing. Yeah, absolutely. I can guarantee you Jesus was overbearing in his passion for leading the charge because he knew his mission. He was disciplined. He was only going to be doing the things that serve God, not himself. Discipline. So we must discipline ourselves when it comes to teaching our kids how to live. That means that we've all got to make a big decision. And what's that decision as a parent? You got to make a decision that you're going to grow every day. You're going to make a decision that, you know what, I'm going to be the change in my own home. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be everything that I'm asking my children to be. See, because that is the big thing, man. And then know that we've got to give kids tough love, man. We can't give in. We've got to be able to restrain, not give them certain things, not allow them to have this easy life that they think. Life is not easy, man. We have to do that. We want to give them things, but sometimes if you give it to them too early, they're going to mess it up. I was recently listening to E.T. If you're familiar with him, E.T. the hip hop preacher, and he was talking about how he knew he could give his son more stuff, but he wouldn't do it. And his son was trying to figure out why he wouldn't. He's like, man, you're dumb. Like, why would I give you all of this stuff and you can't handle it? Why would I give you more money and give you more of this or that? Or because you're dumb. Kids don't know what's best for them. Like, I have this saying that, I created last year. It was, I will do the things that's good for me, even when it feels like pain. I gave that to Jared, my oldest son. He's 15. That was something he was complaining about going to school. And I was just like, dude, you got to do things you don't like. And then this thing comes out. I will do the thing that's good for me, even when it feels like pain. Guys, growth is painful, but you have to grow. You have to lead your kids. You have to show your kids that, hey, I'm doing all that I'm asking you to do. If I'm asking you to read a book, I'm reading books. If I'm asking you to make your bed, I'm making my bed. If I'm asking you to, wash dishes, I can wash the dishes. Not that I'm going to be washing dishes, but I can do it. I'm not going to complain about. If I'm asking you that you should study the Word of God and you should want to serve God, then I'm going to serve God. But so many parents are out here telling their kids what to do, and they're not living it. So I'm going to call out all parents today. If you are not living it and you're asking your kids to do it, shame on you, right? I'm going to tell you, shame on you, because you are not giving them what they need. You're not showing them the discipline. You're not showing them the constraint. You're not showing them that it's possible to live that life that you are asking them to live. We're just giving them their devices, which is anything. We're allowing them to do whatever they want, and then we're asking, well, why aren't we getting the results? Because that's insanity, to do the same thing over and over and keep getting the same results. And I realize today that it stops, man. I'm not going to keep getting the same results. I hope you don't keep getting the same results. If you're not getting the results that you want from your kids, then it's not a kid problem. It's a you problem. We've got to teach our kids better. We've got to do better for our kids. And these texts, Proverbs 29:14, no, 15, and then Proverbs 29:17. But you can read from 15 to 17 because what's that? All right. 18 says, where there's no word from God, people cast off restraint. Growth is painful, Christy. Absolutely. Growth is painful. Here's how you can grow. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a nugget. Here's how you can grow, and all of a sudden the pain goes away. Start doing something every day that's painful. What you'll find is that over the course of a period of time, it'll stop being painful. Like, I had a goal to do 1,000 push-ups every single day, Christy. And so what happened was I had never done that many push-ups. And so I knew that it was going to be painful to start. One, painful in my mind because I'm trying to do something that I've never done, that made no sense, that anyone who heard me make the goal, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I said, well, let me try this. And so I couldn't reach this goal. This January 1st, it was just a lofty goal. It just sounded like something that was beautiful. And I said, wow, if I can do 31,000 push-ups in a month. I was like, man, I may not make it, but man, I'm going to end at about 15, 16,000 push-ups this month. And I've done 1,000 push-ups multiple times in a day. But here's what happened. Here's how I did it, Christy. I figured out a way to do it. I created a system for myself that would allow me to do it. See, because before I had a system, I couldn't do it. I created 5-minute increments where I started out with 125 push-ups, 25 push-ups every minute for 5 minutes. I did that 8 times. When I came up with that schedule, I did it. Then I said, oh, well, let me up it a little bit, growth. Let me figure out if I can do a little bit more. I went to 30 push-ups in a minute for 5 minutes. I did that 7 times. That would get me to, it got me to 1,000. I was just thinking that. Just like, yes, right, just like exercising, you get it. But you have to have a system, you have to have a process. You have to have a way to complete that thing, or you have to have a way to grow. It's kind of like reading. If you wanted to start growing in an area, you probably needed to read something about that area, or you need to find educational videos that may be talking about that area and just have specific times where you do it. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden you're getting new knowledge. Every day I gain some new knowledge from 2 texts. Like, I can open up this Bible and I can find knowledge. And then what I do is, instead of just reading it, I just throw it out. I share it. I share it so that I have proof to myself that I learned something today, because I didn't know where these texts were. It's not like I woke up and said, I'm going to go to Proverbs 29 and verse 15 and verse 17. I didn't know that I was going to go to those texts. Those texts weren't even in my mind. I flipped open the Bible, find the text. They just so happen to be underlined. That's the thing about underlining. You can find out the good things about what you liked about something because I've been reading. Then you find and say, oh, that goes right with what I want to talk about. Now I leave proof on the internet everywhere so that my kids can come back to this years from now and say, man, look what Daddy was talking about. So I'm leaving a legacy without knowing that I'm leaving a legacy. A lot of times we're like, I want to leave a legacy. Well, do it. Start doing something that will leave a legacy. So growth is one of these things that it's not something that you can just measure right now. It's over time. But when I look at my growth tracking sheet of all the things I want to track, and I see the areas that I'm growing, some slower than others, I just say, man, in 1 year's time, look at this. In 2 years' time, look at this. Man, in 10 years, man, if I would have been doing this all my life, where would I have been? Where would I be today? But you know what? That's why I had to go through life. I can't look back. I went through life. I had to figure out, man, what's the healthy accountant? All of a sudden, healthy accountant is the accountant for your life. It's someone that's not just bookkeeping or taxes or numbers. It's your life. It's your business. I'm talking about, it's your money. It's your relationships, your spiritual life. It's everything. but that was something that came from growth, came from growing. And then I realized that, wow, I'm much bigger than what I ever thought I was. So I'm grateful. And Chrissy, I'm so grateful that you stopped by today. Um, so if you're a parent, you want to lead your kids, you got to lead from the front, meaning you got to be all that you should be so that it gives your kids an opportunity. And if the kids have already kind of gotten a little bit older, it may take them longer. You have to be committed. If you stay committed to you and you stay committed to leading, you got to lead yourself, growing yourself, you'll give your kids an opportunity even later on. But in the meantime, you may have to impart some discipline on them that they may not like. And, so just know that, you have to be able to stick to your guns, when it comes to the discipline and helping them to correct themselves, at least if they're still living in your house. Once they get out of the house, there's nothing you can do. They can do whatever they want. But while they're in my house, I'm going to have to help them out, correct them, discipline them, and just pretty much show them, what I'm doing in my life. And then lead the way so that they have an opportunity to do it as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. Look, if you got value from this, definitely share it across Facebook. Let others know, that there's something interesting on Facebook that other parents may like, and it may help them. If you have liked the page, please like, and we appreciate you. And, so that's it for today. I'll look forward to seeing you. Normally we're on around 7 o'clock in the morning. Came on late today, but I still had to do it. So look forward to seeing you back here. God bless you. Take care.